Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We have camp battle updates for you guys, particularly with the offensive line. So according to Vinny Bonsignore, Thayer Munfield is making a push to be the team's starting right tackle. He's even been getting a majority of the first team reps at right tackle, with Illuminor rotating in or working mainly with the second team. So my stance on the Raiders' offensive line is they are so much better than people give them credit to. They started the season last year with so many different variations. It was a mess to start the season. However, in the last half of the years, particularly the last couple of games, the last month or so of the season, the offensive line was well above average, okay? Well above average. And Illuminor was a big reason for that. He was a first-time starter last year. Logged more than double the number of snaps than his previous single high, and he also finished just outside of the top 20 among offensive tackles with a Pro Football Focus grade of 75.3. The issues with Jermaine were penalties, and you cannot have stupid penalties. The Raiders last year, both sides of the football, had a lot of stupid penalties, okay? 10 flags. He had 10 flags, okay? He tied for the 8th most penalized offensive tackles in the entire National Football League. Of the 7 players ahead of him, 3 of them were rookies. 2 of the guys he was tied with were in their second seasons as pro. So, not great, right? Not great. Too sloppy, just sloppy. Now, he led all right tackles in penalties, and he was also flagged last training camp, in the preseason. So, sloppy. But, like we said, he received a 75.3 grade, which was among the top 20 offensive tackles. So, there's good, and then there's also some bad. Now, the reason we're bringing this up today is because penalties are continuing to haunt him so far in training camp. It's going to be something to really keep an eye on in preseason. Now, before we get any further into the video, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily Raiders content. Let's try and get this video to 200 likes as we push for 10,000 subs. I appreciate you guys being so patient with the clips because we need live football, right? The team looks a lot different, but hopefully we have enough training camp footage and just footage for you guys. So like I said, I really appreciate your patience with this. The good news is, man, I think Munford is actually going to be the right tackle. Regardless, Illuminor, almost a top 20 offensive tackle last season. Hopefully the penalties were fixed, but, as we've mentioned, if it's a problem in camp and if it's a problem in preseason, I don't think he's going to be the starter, nor do I think he should be the starting right tackle. I would just throw him in at right guard, right? And I'd throw Munford in at starting right tackle. For me, the Raiders' offensive line, there's a lot of talent on it, okay? And when we take a look at the draft, they didn't take a single offensive lineman. So I think that speaks volumes for the confidence and the belief that this Raiders coaching staff has in their current existing players and their depth as well. I think the Raiders have kind of sneaky depth here. I also think they're relatively versatile. I look at my man Dylan Parham. Dylan Parham had a pretty solid rookie season, all things considered. I think this is the year he begins his breakout. But, altogether, man, the offensive line is clearly important. However, I'm not worried. I'm not ringing the warning bell. I'm not worried. However, we all know this, especially offensive line. Penalties are just drive killers. They're huge momentum killers. And based on last season, man, we had so many stupid penalties. So many stupid penalties. When you have stupid penalties, that means many different things, and it's going to start with the coaching staff, all right? It's going to start with the coaching staff. Everybody is accountable, but we need to see better preparation. Like we saw in the second half of the season, we got to get the penalties down. We got to get all penalties down, but offensively, the main penalties you're going to occur are going to be the offensive line. Outside of that, man, the defense has been making a lot of noise, and I think it does need to be mentioned once again that when training camp begins, especially at the beginning, we're only, we just finished week 1.5 here, the defense is usually going to be better. It's usually an easier base scheme to understand than the offense. Jimmy G coming on over. Josh McDaniels, love the duo. quarterback playbook, you got to be the most prepared of anybody on your entire roster. But like your offense is just going to be a little bit shakier than your defense will to start the season. Nonetheless, the news, or I shouldn't say the news, the reports, what we've been hearing with this defense so far in training camp is awesome. Apparently today, on Friday, August 4th, they got a bunch of interceptions. So we'll keep you guys updated with the defense, but this was mainly an offensive tackle, or offensive line, I guess you should say, training camp battle update video. So yeah, that's really it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily Raiders content. Stay tuned, man, because we're covering training camp, preseason. We're covering everything Raiders football over here. So appreciate you guys. Like I said, really appreciate your guys' patience with these clips, and thanks for all the love. Peace.